Imagine for a moment that the fast you've been chasing your whole career is nothing more than a cruel illusion. Picture that endless render bar creeping across your screen, the one you stare at like it's personally mocking you, or the loading spinner that turns every deadline into a prayer. What if those weren't just annoyances, but chains holding back what creativity could really be? We've all felt trapped by them, even as Apple Silicon Saga pulled us forward. The M1 Ultra crashed to the gates like a thunderbolt, redefining desktops as sleek powerhouses. The M2 Ultra polished that vision to a mirror shine, and the M3 Ultra leaped into 3-nanometer territory, packing in cores, efficiency, and raw muscle that made us think we'd hit the summit. But here's the thing. Settling in isn't Apple's style. They thrive on shattering ceilings. While we've been lost in our 4K edits, convinced we'd peaked, they've been toiling away in hidden labs, crafting not just an evolution but a seismic shift. Today, we're diving into whispers of a beast that doesn't tweak the rules. It burns a playbook and starts fresh. This isn't some modest refresh or a quick 10% jolt. It's the Apple M5 Ultra, sealed inside a Mac Studio that's equal parts fortress and dream machine. What do you say? Ready to dream bigger, or still clinging to the old grind? Leave a comment below and tell me, what's the one render that's haunted your nightmares the most? To grasp the M5 Ultra's thunder, we first need to unpack its foundation. The M5 Max forget the 3-nanometer playground of the M3. This generation vaults straight into uncharted waters with TSMC's groundbreaking 2-nanometer process. At first glance, 2-nanometer might sound like tech jargon dressed up for a sales pitch, but peel it back and it's pure alchemy. Transistors shrunk so tiny you can cram billions more onto the die without bloating the footprint. Efficiency skyrockets, turning the M3's prowess into yesterday's fuel-thirsty relic, while performance surges to levels that feel pulled from a sci-fi script. Take the M3 Max. Its 16-core CPU split between 12 performance beasts and 4 efficiency guardians was a marvel. But the M5 Max? Rumors paint a bolder canvas. A full 24-core CPU, with up to 20 high-octane performance cores, each one sharper, hungrier, and greener than anything Silicon Valley's cooked up before. Yet the CPU's just the opening act. The real fireworks erupt in the GPU. The M3 Max peaked at 40 cores, a testament to engineering wizardry. For the M5 Max, the buzz is an 80-core monster, 80 on one efficient slab of silicon. This isn't kid stuff for casual gaming. It's unleashing real-time path trace renders that once demanded a warehouse of servers, or 3D sims so fluid they blur the line between prototype and reality. And lurking in the wings, the neural engine, the unsung hero poised to steal the show. With AI reshaping every corner of our work by the M5's debut, the M3 16-core NPU feels quaint. We're eyeing a 64-core powerhouse in the M5 Max, a brain that doesn't wait for your command. It reads the room, predicts your next move, and turns what if into watch this. That's the M5 Max in a nutshell. A 24-core CPU, 80-core GPU, 64-core neural engine, a solo titan that had claimed the crown as Earth's mightiest pro-grade processor. But Apple doesn't stop at mighty. They forge legendary. Enter the Ultra, twin M5 Max dies fused into one unholy alliance. Sure, slapping 2 chips side by side is old hat. Multi-chip modules do it all the time, but they're riddled with drag. Sluggish inter-chip chatter, creating choke points like rush hour gridlock in your workflow. Apple? They laugh at jams and invent wormholes. Their secret sauce, UltraFusion, is a mere wiring. It's a silicon interposer, weaving the duo so tightly that with the M2 Ultra's 10,000 signals blazing at 2.5 terabits per second, the M5's upgrade promises bandwidth off the charts. The chips don't just link, they merge. Your OS? It doesn't spot the seams. It beholds a singular, seamless colossus of compute. Crunch the numbers, a 48-core CPU with 40 performance juggernauts. This isn't quick. It's compiling a full OS while your kettle boils, or juggling 500 Logic Pro tracks, laced with a dozen plugins each, 0 glitches, pure silk. Then the GPU, 160 cores. To frame it, those $5,000 behemoth GPUs guzzling 1,000 watt PS use and cluttering desks, they'd gasp for air against this. And all on one chip, whispering efficiency. The ace up its sleeve? Unified memory. The industry secret no one's cracked like Apple has. PCs juggle separate RAM for CPU and VRAM for GPU, forcing clunky data handoffs over sluggish buses. Apple's way: one shared ocean of bandwidth where CPU, GPU, and NPU dive without a ripple, no copies, no delays. The M3 Max capped at 128 gigabytes. M2 Ultra hit 192 gigabytes. The M5 Ultra? Brace for 512 gigabytes of unified, lightning-fast pool. Half a terabyte. What universe does that unlock? You're not tweaking an 8K cut. You're swallowing a whole raw feast. 12K clips, assets, renders, into RAM, soaring through timelines like a fighter jet. 3D wizards aren't sketching cities. They're erecting them block by block. Foliage the facade. In real-time glory, no previews needed, just a polished vision staring back. AI tinkerers? Ditch the distant clouds. Train sprawling language models right there. Lock down yours alone. And that neural engine? Double it for the Ultra, 128 cores of prescient firepower. This transcends Photoshop parlor tricks. It's your studio turning collaborator, a silent partner with clairvoyant instincts. Envision slicing a 30-minute doc from mismatched cams. The NPU's already harmonized colors across shots, scrubbed audio ghosts from interviews, and scripted every syllable of 5 raw hours. Or as a composer, you tease out a labyrinthine piano motif, and it exhales a bespoke orchestral swell, vibrant human, echoing your soul, not some tinny demo. This isn't help. It's harmony. Your ideas amplified into symphonies. Now, harnessing the solar flare silicon, churning what's like a contained star, demands a worthy vault. Cue the reborn Mac Studio. The current models of thermal poetry in motion, whisper quiet, desk-friendly, unflappable. But the M5 Ultra craves more oxygen. So expect evolution over revolution. Same beloved shell, just denser, weightier, with whispers of a revamped heart. Ditch the basic fans and sinks. Rumors herald a hybrid vapor chamber beast, a colossal copper monolith laced with heat pipes funneling fury to a hushed, re-engineered blower. The vow? Absolute thermal defiance. Hammer 100% loads across CPU and GPU for 2 straight days, and it won't flinch, won't stutter, won't warm your lap. Kick off that Friday night beast of a render. Wait to Saturday's triumph. And the box? Cool as a breeze, silent as a vault. That's pro pedigree. Unyielding, invisible, eternal. Of course, no pro tales complete without the gates. Those ports that tether your empire. Forget Thunderbolt 4's reign. This studio pioneers Thunderbolt 5 to 80 gigabits per second bidirectional fury, doubling the old guard, with a 120 gigabits per second overdrive mode for the clutch moments. Daisy-chain 3 8K panels at 144 Hz from one outlet, or vacuum 10 terabytes from RAID arrays and heartbeats, not eternities. Peer at the rear, 8 Thunderbolt 5 strongholds, dual 10 gigabits Ethernet sentinels, and a pro-grade SDXC slot finally chasing UHS-3 velocities. This isn't a box. It's your Orbit's nexus, every drive, display, and drive array orbiting in sync. Pull back the curtain. 48-core CPU, 160-core GPU, 128-core neural engine, 512 gigabytes unified memory, fortified frame, Arctic cooling, Thunderbolt 5 Symphony. What does it whisper? Liberation. The drag vanishes. Your tools fade into ether. No more overnight waits or hardware walls. Just pure impulse. Your spark igniting the canvas in one breathless arc. You're the color whisperer in a bustling edit bay, sculpting 12K RAW with 3 dozen nodes on the fly. Director peering over. Chill that shadow? No pause. No plea for render. You twist, it blooms. The story rolls unbroken. The ArchViz maestro? You're the farm now, striding clients through their skyline phantoms in ray trace splendor. Sunset view? Slider drags. Golden hour ignites. Seamless as breath. The lab coat visionary? Protein twists or weather webs that felt superclusters for weeks now pulse on your desk. Cycles blurring into breakthroughs. Ideas cascading like unlocked floods. So, the $1 million murmur, the toll? Bluntly, this isn't for casual scrolls or term papers. nor even the sharp indie YouTuber piecing vlogs. This is Arsenal for the elite, a stake in velocity itself. The M2 Ultra Max Studio bows at $4,000. Layer in the M5's 2nm sorcery, cooling Opus and Tectorrent, and you're gazing at $5,999 to launch. Max it, 512 gigabytes RAM, 16 terabytes SSD, and it climbs to $15,000, perhaps $18,000 summit. Steep? Absolutely. But here's the alchemy. For the billing $1,000, an hour house, shaving 20 render hours weekly, paid in full, first moon. This is an expenditure. It's equation. Machine versus minutes lost forever. The M5 Ultra Max Studio erases a deficit. Apple plants a flag, erects an obelisk to unbound force, a hushed, compact aluminum sanctum cradling personal computing zenith, a power person machines never dare dream. Rivals? They're lapped in another league. The M5 Ultra Max Studio isn't the future. It's the now we've been starving for. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.